But as far as I'm concerned, that is the end of the matter. Except that Mr. Ngomezulu has written a letter of apology. Should I read it, sir?
Well, now that we know there's a letter, of course we want you to read it. And it's just a rhetorical statement, in my opinion. I think he just wanted everyone to know that, hey, Ngomezulu has responded, but he made it look like he was seeking for his permission to read the letter out loud in court. But clearly he planned to do it, in my opinion. What do you think? I think that was highly unnecessary. He should have just gone ahead and read it than to make it seem like he's including Ngomezulu in his decision. But anyway, we're just glad Ngomezulu is back. Now, listen to the letter and the reasons why he was absent. It will break your heart. I'll be back with the rest of my commentary.
That's correct. Should I read it?
Yes, please.
Otherwise, I was just going to keep it to myself. Okay, here's the letter. It's dated the 20th March 2024 at 16:21. Good day, Judge Mokhatli. The above matter refers Senzo Maiwa murder trial, Pretoria High Court, North Gauteng. I write this email to express my apology for my non-appearance in court. I had discussions with my colleagues last Friday whereby I asked Advocate Munyeki to stand in for me during the testimonies of Ms. Matlaping and the photographer. The request was adhered to by Advocate Munyeki. On Monday, I asked Mr. Ramosipidi to stand in for me, and he agreed in the presence of other counsels. I received instructions on an urgent basis wherein 74 motor vehicles were impounded, repossessed by the company called Bike Automobile SA Pty Ltd. I took this opportunity because I was not receiving fees for the past 5 months and legal aid South Africa declined to pay. I need to close the unpaid school fees for my daughter and my 2 sons and my house bond. Today at 16:15, I called Mr. Baloyi. He did not answer my call, but due to his professionalism, he returned my call, and we had a discussion. However, before Advocate Baloyi returned my call, I called Ramosipidi and sent him a WhatsApp message, but he did not respond. Furthermore, I called Advocate Mushololo, who also did not answer my call, but showed professionalism by returning my call at 9:30. I then asked her to speak to Ms. Selepe, whom I conveyed the message for the judge. I attempted to call the secretary, Ms. Rose Selepe, and I left a message. I do not have anything against your leadership since I have known you from Clemson House. I was on the 4th floor with Norman Masanabo, the late. I did not receive the transcript of the main trial, and I have not consulted with accused one. I ran a trial within a trial without going through the evidence of the main trial, and I'm proceeding with the main trial only with 636/10/2014 disclosure. That is the case. I have noticed that other counsels are offered assistance if they are engaged somewhere else, but different situation in my case. Kindly find room to accept my apology. I do not have any vendetta against your lordship. Regards, Thulani Ngomezulu. Okay.
That's nice.
Thanks. I regard the matter as closed. Yes, Mr. Baloyi.
First of all, I commend Advocate Ngomezulu for writing it all down in email and putting it on record. The why? Because Judge Rata wouldn't have given him a chance to talk and finish a sentence in court if it was verbally done. So by sending out the email, he got to put across the reason why. And by the way, he remained really focused. I love what he did, why I wasn't in court, why it was important for him not to be in court, and addressing the matter of, I have nothing against you. And then he highlights quite, I would say discreetly or minorly, without, emotion. Yes, that's the word I'm looking for. Without emotion, that, hey, anyway, if others look for exceptions from the court facilitates them. But in my case, I found I've had some difficulties. So let's break it down one by one. That email. He begins the email by apologizing and mentions that he had to take a case where there were 74 vehicles that were impounded. And I think he names the company that impounded those vehicles. And then he says, I had to take that case because I haven't been paid for the Senzo Meyiwa trial since I jumped on with the trial within a trial because legal aid, wow, my words today, because legal aid said, we're not paying you. So imagine that from the time he joined the trial within a trial, which is about 5 months, he was not paid by legal aid. And as you know, how things work here in the real world, bills got to be paid. And he lists his obligations. He says, my house, my children's school fees, so my son's school fees, my daughter's school fees, the bond on my house, I have those payments to make. So I had no choice but to take on this case because basically, in simple terms, guys, he needed the money. Okay. He needed the money because legal aid did him dirty. And you know what? I'm not going to fault him. I am not going to fault him. I mean, it is of public record that he did do the work. And I still don't understand why legal aid is refusing to pay him because the work was already done. It's not like he woke up one day, dressed up and decided to walk into court like Mtiago and start representing accused number one. No, he was engaged and it's on record. So it makes absolute no sense why he was never paid for that. I think he should be paid for it. And that's my opinion. Let me know if you think he should be paid for it or if he should write it off as a loss or legal aid should literally get away with illegally not paying the man. But I digress. He speaks about his children. So imagine your children. Your father is one of the advocates in one of the most publicized cases right now, and your father is failing to pay your school fees. Make it make sense. Make it make sense and why this is fair. That is just highly, highly unfair. Then he moves on to say, so remember how on Wednesday, the advocates seemed to throw Ngomezulu under the bus? They seemed to not associate with his call or not call. And how, it seemed he was all alone in this and no one was there. I believe Baloyi said something along the lines of, I'm not going to bet for him. So I absolutely, again, love how Ngomezulu, in his email to Judge Rata, explained the calls, who he called, how they called him back, and he called them professionally. They called me back, and he explains it in the order in which it happened. So Mzansi, I think Ngomezulu should be commended for this because he didn't throw his colleagues under the bus and he didn't show any prejudice towards any of them. He just explained what happened. So it's not showing signs of favoritism or this is who I go to first. He's just literally explaining what happened. Your thoughts in the comment section down below. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll catch you on our next upload.